Hey there everybody, Matt here. I'm here on the streets of America one last time here at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Today I'm going to take you through an incredibly long and complete tour of the streets of America and everything that will be closing here on Saturday, April 2nd. We have a lot to cover, and be sure to stick around because this is going to be a non-edited video. I'm going to do a complete straight walkthrough of this entire section of Hollywood Studios, and you're going to see some secrets and some old things that will remind you of what the park used to be 25 years ago. This is truly one of my favorite locations in the park. I'm going to be sad to see it go, but Star Wars is coming. It's going to be great. I am incredibly excited for it. So come along with me right now, and we're going to take a look at the final look of the streets of America here at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Alright guys, so we're going to start right here. Here's one of the iconic looks from way back in the day of the Backlot Tour. If you recall, 25 years ago when we actually had the Backlot Tour, the trams would actually go down this way and then they would come back up, going through a roundabout here, which was where Residential Street was, taking you back to the unloading area right there. But now we have Lights, Motors, Action, which be sure to check out our full video of one of the final shows of Lights, Motors, Action coming up this week as well. But here's one final look for you guys. I'm going to take you all around here. I'm going to try not to talk as much, just for you to savor the entire experience as it was meant to be, as if you were walking through here yourself. But I'm going to point out some interesting stuff that I've learned through my time here in Disney, and share some secrets of the streets of America. So we're going to start heading down this way. If you remember, the old Backlot Tour used to end here, and before you did the special effects stage, this was all called Toon Park, I believe. Studio Catering Company was here, and that will be closing as well. You could grab a quick bite to eat over there. But mainly there was something called the Prop Shop, which is still here, but now it just sells your typical Disney merchandise. However, there is still some interesting points of things that remain. A couple of things that I want to point out to you. First off, you can take a look at all this cool stuff that's up here. But if you remember, this used to be all about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which was what the studios was promoting at the time they opened. Now, way back in the day, they had props for that. You can see one of those props right here. You can see the layout of where the lining for the man was, where the piano collapsed on him, right there. But one of my favorite things was this right here, which I'm going to try and make sure that you see. If you look all the way back there, you're going to see a hole in the wall. That was actually from way back in the day, showing you Roger going through the hole, the part in the wall there. So that still remains, and it's hidden behind merchandise. A lot of Star Wars stuff came in here, I believe, for the Star Wars weekends last year. A box labeled Starspeeder 1000. But a lot of these props are actually from 25 years ago with the Backlot Tour. They've kind of kept them here. This is kind of like the Acme factory that you see in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You have the bricks over there. You have the giant magnets and the elephant. You have the weight there. Lots of cool things that are still here to this day. Now up there was where you would begin your Backlot Tour in the current day, but when it closed. That was where they had the Pearl Harbor water effects action scene. But since then, they closed that down. But actually, that was the ending of the backlot tour. When you did the trams, you boarded that where Star Wars Launch Bay is now, and where the animation building used to be. And then you came and exited right over there at Watto's, but then you could come out this way towards the rest of Toon Park and grab a bite to eat at the catering company if you wanted to. And then you could continue your tour with the walking portion for the special effects. Special effects started right here where the Pearl Harbor scene took place. Obviously it wasn't Pearl Harbor back then, it was just showing you the water tank. And then after that you would head into the sound stages where they're currently building the third track for Toy Story and where the existing track for Toy Story is right now. But this is another little piece of history that will be going away, is Mike and Sully right there. They will be floating away back to Monstropolis this Saturday, April 2nd as well.
They don't have pasta, you're having steak. They don't have pasta?
Now for those of you that have done the backlot tour before it closed, you remember that this was where the old unloading area used to be. And then Watto's Grotto right here, which is all the Star Wars stuff, used to be the AFI exhibit. All that's been gutted since they run in favor of more Star Wars, because essentially this will all be Star Wars. And again, you can see Lights Motors action here. Be sure to check out the full show of it before it closes. We'll post that very, very soon, if not already. But you can also see a lot of the props still remain from the backlot tour. Go ahead and zoom in here a little bit. I know one of those props over there is, I believe, still the helicopter that Bill Nye and Ellen DeGeneres used in Ellen's Energy Adventure at Epcot. So a lot of those props are still there to this day. But you can actually see all the way out there where Catastrophe Canyon used to be. And that is all gone. If you want to see more of that, be sure to check out our other video showcasing what remains of the Catastrophe Canyon and the beginning construction of Star Wars Land. But we'll take a quick walk in here to Watto's Grotto. Remind you of that. And that will all be going too, that's back there. That's where the prop warehouse used to be, where you would board the backlot tour when it closed.
And she had been complaining because she
Be interesting to note where all this stuff moves to next week.
But she's just the way that she is. Main Street Electrical.
Dark.
Not sure if the snowspeeder will actually be around when Star Wars Land comes in, but it is a good nod to what is coming. Now let's head down Streets of America for the real reason why we're doing this video. Showcase probably one of the historical place is still here at Hollywood Studios. Now, for those of you that don't know, this was an actual real working studio, and many movies and TV shows were actually filmed on this street. One film in particular is The Lottery. A lot of films were all filmed right here on this street back when MGM Studios at the time was a real working studio. I will start right here with one of my favorite newest additions that just came in about a year ago. It's Mr. Gold's Pawnbroker and Antiques Dealer. If you know the show Once Upon a Time, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. Lots of artifacts from the film, from the TV show rather, are in here. I believe they're all replicas, but some might be real, I believe. Let's take a quick look up here since people are leaving. It's a very crowded day here too. So.
What's the egg from? I forgot.
One of my favorite things that will be missed, and I do hope they do repurpose this somewhere else. But now, Streets of America is known to be two real streets here. You see, we're on New York right here, or what is supposed to be New York. A lot less people, though. And then down to our right over here is San Francisco. But we're going to start here with New York, and we'll head down to San Francisco in just a second. And you see we are gradually transitioning into San Francisco, right here. We're going to head back over there where the Premier Theater used to be in just a few moments. But here's one final look for you at the San Francisco street here on Streets of America. If you remember this area from way back in the day, this used to be where you could see the Hunchback of Notre Dame musical. They closed that back in 2001, I believe. I could be wrong with my dates there. But then they constructed the Premier Theater here, which was always meant to be a temporary theater, nothing that was ever going to be there for a long time. But then they decided to put the Frozen sing-along in there when that debuted. But now, that is all that remains of the Premier Theater. Demolition of this really happened within like a day or two, I believe. And I think they're waiting to get this part down once Streets of America closes this week. Now, when Muppet Vision used to be popular, and it still is, but just on a very busy day, this used to be the extended queue for it. They hardly ever use it anymore. I don't know if they're going to be getting this out once Star Wars Land is being developed. But we'll have to wait and see. Speaking of Star Wars Land, it is very vague what is actually going to be going in favor of this land. Disney still has not made a public statement about that this is where Star Wars Land will be going, but all signs are pointing to this land because, come on, Streets of America is closing, Lights Motors Action is closing, this entire back quarter of the park is closing. It was either this or they were going to take out Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, which doesn't look like it's going to be happening anytime soon. So more than likely, this is what's going to become Star Wars Land in the coming years. You can see there the facade of what the New York Public Library is. These guys merchandise over here. Yes, I can say merchandise because I'm from Jersey. This will be closing as well. Now I believe there is something over here. I can just barely make it out here. You can see the writing in here that says Yankees rule. All my New York fans, there you go. In my honest opinion, the theming here is quite spectacular. But for the last couple of years, this has always just been a stop and take pictures and sit and relax. We also have here the Osborne Electric Company that was put up for the final season of the Osborne Lights last year.
The marquee, right down the end.
Now also too, we have the writer shop here, which has been announced that it will be staying, but in a different form.
Oh yeah, that's that.
The writer shop will be returning as the Sci-Fi Dine-In Lounge, which will only be accessible from the Sci-Fi Dine-In restaurant while you're waiting for your table. But that will about do it. This is very nostalgic for me. I've always loved this land, this part of the park. It will be missed. But one day, we'll be looking down this way once again, and we'll see Star Wars. All Star Wars. But be sure to subscribe to us. We have a lot more stuff that we'll be putting out. We'll have a complete walkthrough of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids Playground, which is also closing, as well as I've been saying the full show of Lights Motors Action. That will be open. That will be closing same time as well. But until then, I leave you with this parting shot of one of the most nostalgic lands in all of Hollywood studios. May you rest in peace, Streets of America, and we'll see you soon, Star Wars Land.